What's the point? What is the point anymore? West Ham won, Newcastle 5? Was it 5? I don't even know anymore. I thought, I keep getting confused whether it was 5 or 6-1. I left at the second Joe Linton goal, around 90th minute. I left the ground, and I don't leave games early. I've only ever left a game early once because it was a 5-0 battering at the FA Cup with Man City all them years ago, and that's the last time I left the game early. I've seen a lot of bad seasons. Not as much as the older fan. I'm 20 years old, so I've seen Avram Grant. That was my first season. I saw us get promoted, and Sam Allardyce trying to keep us stable, working with GSB. And you know what GSB are like. Then I saw Slaven Bilic, good first season, other shit seasons, moving into the London Stadium. I stopped going after the first London Stadium season. The only game I went to was the game where we beat Chelsea 1-0. That was under David Moyes. Arnautovic right at the start. Left foot against Antonio Conte. Then, I didn't go to any game for years up until last season, where it was a really last minute season ticket, and I was like, all right. So I'm pretty much in the really high up. Don't get me wrong, it's not the worst view. But you know when you go to the stadium, it's not nice to go into when you're in a bad position. You can only be like, the stadium's not that bad, I like coming here, when you're winning. I remember at Upton Park, even when we lost, I was like, I just liked the stadium. I liked the routine I used to have going to Upton Park. I used to park at a family friend's house, walk across an alley which we would call Dog Poo Alley. We used to go to the corner shop, get a program, and get cherry drops. You know, the sweet cherry drops. I haven't had them in years. And then we used to go into the ground, maybe get food, and that was a good time. And Upton Park is further away from my house than London Stadium is. But it's more hassle getting to the stadium at London Stadium. It's not fun seeing your team put out some absolute shite. I'm sorry that we're only 3 minutes in. I haven't talked about the performance yet. I'm going to get there. This might be a long one. But I'm going to start with this. I've just labelled you all of that. That's my journey as a West Ham fan, in short. And David Moyes basically said, I would have left as well, but there's times where you got to stand up and be a true fan. Because he keeps referencing last season, and we were there last season, and blah, blah, blah. Of course we were there last season. We haven't seen any good seasons in years. First good season we had in years was when we couldn't be there. So of course we were going to be there. But guess what? When you say in the podcast, I think it was the High Performance podcast with the Jake Humphrey one, where he said, I'm going to change the style. I want to play possession football. And they tried to switch to somewhat of a brand of possession football last season. It didn't really work, so we just kept counter-attacking, whatever. Did invest in January. I didn't buy Julian Alvarez because Antonio was on form. Apparently competition doesn't exist. And you miss out on Julian Alvarez and you see what he's doing now. Are you retarded? Are you fucking retarded? And you buy players that can play football. Despite how shit Kera is concentration-wise. Or 1v1. He can kick a ball. He gets in certain areas. He can play football. Aged can play football. Paqueta, Scamacca, Downs. Ariola's got good distribution. Max O'Cornet could actually link up with players. But you put them into this formation that you've been using for counter-attacking football for years. You then go to other formation like 5-4-1, We didn't lose with the 5-4-1, but whatever. 5-3-2 against Tottenham, too defensive. After the Leicester game, I still little bit defended David Moyes. It took me a long time to actually get David Moyes out. I was like, I'll give you the break. But after the break, it was just so many interviews and the games before, the Fulham game, and we played Fulham and Udinese and Cambridge, and you had the same formation. You went 1-0 down to Cambridge. Are you stupid? We've had injuries. Yes, we've had some refereeing decisions go against us. But that's not an excuse. Because you had a chance to sign another centre-back in January. You had a chance to sign a right-back in January. No matter who you're going to play at right-back, they're shit. I said Soufal should start this game. And I don't even like Soufal this season. But Soufal should have started this game. He came when he did alright. I'm not even going to talk about Ings, Downs and Cornet. Because they were barely part of the game. So I want to say big up to Antonio, big up to Rice, and big up to Boat. They were the only three that I thought played alright. I don't think Emerson did anything wrong, particularly. I don't think Zuma did anything particularly wrong. Good run for the goal, but he wasn't marked. I don't know what the fuck Kera was doing for Joe Linton's first goal. I don't know what the fuck Aged was doing. But I'll defend Aged a little bit later. I wanted more from Paqueta on the ball. He did well off the ball, but it's a 4-2-3-1 where you're not getting the best out of him, and you're still playing a certain donkey that we're going to talk about later. And Bowen ruined Dan Burn. Declan Rice, he's well composed and he does well. And Antonio was running the channels quite well. He's getting the best of their defenders at times when he had the ball. But I'm going to rip into the players now. I was literally ranting in the crowd and yeah, I was just shouting my head off. And Thomas Souček, sorry, I need to clear my throat. But Thomas Souček, there's no excuses this season. You've played deep, you've played further forward, you've played in the midfield three, you've played in a double pivot, you've played getting into the box, you've played as a sitter. You're shit. The goals are gone. When you take away the goals, when you take away your great defending, you are shit. And Moyes still plays you every week. You get a chance to redeem yourself, and you never redeem yourself. You deserved to be booed. You deserve to be booed. You've given us great memories, but you need to walk with Moyes. Fabianski, you're great coming out on your box, great at commanding your box, great at saving penalties. And even you made a good save here today. And you've made some great saves in the past where Leeds away, especially this season, where you saved us. But here's what I'm going to say. You should have been benched last season. The only thing you've got over Areola is you're very good at penalty saving. That's why you need to play in the cups, not the league. You can't kick a ball, you can't throw a ball, you have no awareness, and you're 40. You're experienced enough to know what you're doing in these situations. You threw a Ged under the bus, you rolled it to him when Murphy was right behind him. I don't even know if it's Joshua Murphy or Jacob Murphy. It's one of the twins. I keep getting them confused. But he then squares it to Callum Wilson. Callum Wilson, how many times is Callum Wilson going to fucking score against us? Callum fucking Wilson. Great striker. But why? Always against us. It's always against us. He is a really good striker. But I can't stand the guy because he always pops up and he knows, he loves it. He loves it. He was Macarena-ing in front of our fans. He said he was going to do that in Antonio and his podcast. It's not even like we played bad for like 20 minutes of the game. But you killed it at 3-1. The game was done. Like, I was at 2-0, I was like, what's the point of even coming here? like good home form, whatever, all of that is gone. Because when you look back at it, it's just Southampton, it's Chelsea, it's Everton, it's Nottingham Forest. These aren't good teams at all. When we come up against a good team, boom. That's why I'm scared. I'm Fulham. We're meant to be Fulham's bogey team. Oh boy, they are going to absolutely smack us up. I'm not even going to watch the game if I see the same lineup. I'm not going to go to the Arsenal game. I'm not going. You want a true supporter? I'm going to be a true supporter. Do you know what? Fuck it. I'm not going. I don't need to see this shit anymore. I don't need to. They don't deserve our support. None of them. You bought all these new signings, and you don't know how to use them. You said in the interview that Paqueta could play 8, 10, false 9. Play him in the 8 then. Play him as a roaming 8. Do not fucking play him as a 10. Because as much as you can say you can play as a 10, he's got no one to combine with apart from Rice. The wingers are... You think it's 90s football still, that the wingers are hugging the touchline so much. All Bowen was doing was going through the outside of Dan Burn and crossing it in, and no one was there. He was murdering Dan Burn. But guess what? No one was there. That's why Skamaka has barely scored any goals. That's why Antonio's done bad. Antonio's old as fuck now. That's why Ings doesn't get many chances. We gave him chances against Forest, and look what happened. Their defence is shit as well. He needed to go after the Leicester game. And an ambitious club would have sacked him then. But this is what you do. You should have got Unai Emery anyway. You missed out on Emery. Look what Emery's doing with Villa. I've lost my head. I had a lot of things I wanted to talk about in this video, and they're all gone. But I don't know what to say anymore, man. I actually like Newcastle, but they were pissing me off today. I hope they do well, though. I hope they get top 4. I hope them and Brighton get Champions League football. It probably won't be both of them, but fair play. Fair play. Because they deserve it. They went through shit under Mike Ashley. So, I can't argue with that. And they weren't even that good today. That's the funny thing. They weren't even that good. They could have been better today. Could you imagine if they were at their best today? So why should I go to the Arsenal game? Give me one good reason why I should go to the Arsenal game. To get behind the team. We tried to get behind the team at the start. Did you hear the atmosphere at the start? It was sick. It was so good. It was going to be the best atmosphere you heard at the London Stadium in a league game. But guess what? This team does it again. They fuck up. We're back to normal West Ham. We're back to it. What's the point? I'm smiling because you don't smile, you'll fucking cry. That's what you'll do. This is why I like, if you look at their takeover, Newcastle's takeover, there was a lot of moral compass people behind it. Give me some Saudis, give me some Qataris, give me all of these people. Come to West Ham. I'm begging anyone, take over this club. Even though Sullivan doesn't want to sell his shares at all. But please, for the love of God, I would do anything for some Middle Eastern owners to take over this club. But it's not going to happen. It's funny because I still don't think we'll go down because of how inconsistent this relegation battle is. But we apart from Forest, we are the only team to not change our manager in the bottom half of the table, sorry. And it's funny because we're only like 14th, but we could be 20th soon. Let's say we do get relegated. We're not coming back. We're not coming back. Anyone thinks that we're coming back, it's not going to be an Allardyce season again. We are not coming back. Allardyce got all of his ex-Bolton men and bullied the Championship, apart from Southampton and Reading went on a mad run, and we won in the playoffs. And we got outplayed in that final. I was there. In fact, 1 second, if I can find it. This is from the playoff final, the foam finger. I was 9 years old. I always wanted one of these. Seeing them on TV. I've been a West Ham fan for years. All my life. Both my parents are West Ham fans. I'm literally from Chadwell Heath. And all I want is my club to go in the right direction. The club I support. They fucked over so many managers, the board, and they actually backed this one, and he doesn't know how to use the players. Imagine our luck, guys. We are probably the worst team in the past 10 years to not get relegated. In the past 10 years. I would have taken Sean Dyche for 6 months, not on long term. I will not take Rafa Benitez. He will relegate us as much as Moyes. Potter ain't going to save us either. Potter would be a summer job. So I don't know who we get. But guess what? It's not my fucking job. I would take Rodgers in the summer. At least he plays football. I'll take Potter in the summer. At least he plays football. I don't think Michael Carrick and this Will Steele guy are ready to take on a Premier League job. But guess what? I'd still get behind them. Ideally, if I'm going for unrealistic options, I would take Brentford's manager, I would take Fulham's manager, I would take Celtic's manager. But guess what? We live in the real world. Not going to happen. So, that'll be the end of the video. I'm slowly going crazy the more I do this fucking match reaction. So if you guys did like the video, leave a like on the video and subscribe if you're new. Social media's in the description if you want to follow me on the email for any inquiries. I'll see you guys later.